闭眼背雅思单词。
THEREFORE
Therefore.
因此，所以，
They had seen him trawling and therefore knew that there were fish.
他们看见他正用拖网捕鱼，因此他们知道那里有鱼。
They had seen him trawling and therefore knew that there were fish.
Fusion.
FUSION
Fusion.
融化、融合、聚变。
His final reform was the fusion of regular and reserve forces.
他最后的改革是把常规军和后备军合二为一。
His final reform was the fusion of regular and reserve forces.
Respect.
RESPECT
Respect.
尊敬，
You show me respect.
请你对我尊重点。
You show me respect.
Shell.
SHELL
Shell.
给去壳，泡鸡。
She shelled and ate a few nuts.
他剥了一些坚果吃。
She shelled and ate a few nuts.
Behave.
BEHAVE
Behave.
表现、运转、起作用、表现得体、使检点、
Behave or else.
守规矩，否则不客气了。
Behave or else.
Laser.
LASCR
Laser.
激光，
The technical superiority of laser discs over tape is well established.
光盘相对磁带在技术上的优越性是确定无疑的。
The technical superiority of laser discs over tape is well established.
Scamper.
SCAMPER
Scamper.
奔跑，快跑。
Children scampered off the yellow school bus and into the playground.
孩子们跑下黄颜色的校车，奔跑进了操场。
Children scampered off the yellow school bus and into the playground.
Directory.
DIRECTORY
Directory.
人民地址录，号码簿。
He called directory inquiries.
他打电话给电话号码查询台。
He called directory inquiries.
Exchange.
EXCHANGE
Exchange.
交换、调换、交易、兑换、交流、谈话、争论。
We exchanged addresses.
我们交换了地址。
We exchanged addresses.
Slouch.
SLOUCH
Slouch.
懒散的站，低头垂肩的站。
Try not to slouch when you are sitting down.
你坐下时尽量不要无精打采。
Try not to slouch when you are sitting down.
Hesitate.
HESITATE
Hesitate.
犹豫，不情愿。
Mary made as if to protest, then hesitated.
玛丽似乎要抗议，又犹豫了。
Mary made as if to protest, then hesitated.
Beehive.
BEEHIVE
Beehive.
蜂窝、蜂箱。
Mixture.
MIXTURE
Mixture.
混合，
Soften the butter mixture in a small saucepan.
在小平底锅里将黄油混合物弄软。
Soften the butter mixture in a small saucepan.
Incendiary.
INCENDIARY
Incendiary.
放火的，能引起燃烧的，煽动性的。
5 incendiary devices were found in her house.
5个燃烧装置在她家里被发现了。
5 incendiary devices were found in her house.
Scope.
SCOPE
Scope.
眼界、见识、范围、余地、机会。
The land was flat, giving no scope for defense.
土地非常平坦，无法做防卫之用。
The land was flat, giving no scope for defense.
Estrange.
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 使疏远，使分离。
His estranged wife had taken out a restraining order against him.
与他分居的妻子已经获得了针对他的限制令。
His estranged wife had taken out a restraining order against him.
Surveillance.
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 监视，盯梢。
He was arrested after being kept under constant surveillance.
他在被连续监视之后给逮捕了。
He was arrested after being kept under constant surveillance.
Periphery.
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 不重要的部分，外围。
Taste buds are concentrated at the tip and rear of the tongue and around its periphery.
味蕾集中在舌尖、舌根及舌边。
Taste buds are concentrated at the tip and rear of the tongue and around its periphery.
Expectancy.
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 期待、期望、预期数额。
The average life expectancy was 40.
平均期望寿命曾是40岁。
The average life expectancy was 40.
Democratic.
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 民主的，有民主精神的。
Education is the basis of a democratic society.
教育是民主社会的基础。
Education is the basis of a democratic society.
Label.
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 标签、标记。
He peered at the label on the bottle.
他注视着瓶子上的标签。
He peered at the label on the bottle.
Judicious.
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 明智的，有见识的。
The President authorizes the judicious use of military force to protect our citizens.
总统授权明智动用军队来保护我们的公民。
The President authorizes the judicious use of military force to protect our citizens.
Identify.
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 认出、识别、辨别、查明、确定，视为同一事物。
The gene for asthma has been identified.
哮喘病的基因已被识別。
The gene for asthma has been identified.
Irritation.
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 激怒、恼怒、刺激物、恼人的事。
Leshka waved him away with a show of irritation.
廖什卡生气地挥手示意他離開。
Leshka waved him away with a show of irritation.
Embrace.
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 擁抱，包括，欣然接受。
He embraces the new information age.
他欢迎新的信息时代。
He embraces the new information age.
Modify.
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 更改、修改、修飾。
Top supermarkets are to ban many genetically modified foods.
顶级的超市将禁止销售许多转基因的食品。
Top supermarkets are to ban many genetically modified foods.
Improvement.
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 改进、进步、改进措施、改进处。
This is a marginal improvement on October.
这是对10月份的一个小小的改进。
This is a marginal improvement on October.
Aquarium.
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 养鱼池、玻璃缸、水族馆。
Rachel enjoyed the class field trip to the aquarium in Boston.
拉切尔很喜欢他班级去波士顿水族馆的外出活动。
Rachel enjoyed the class field trip to the aquarium in Boston.
Pour.
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 灌、倒、倾泻、涌流、喷发、不断涌现。
The rain was pouring down.
雨在倾盆而下。
The rain was pouring down.
Pledge.
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 正式承诺、发誓、保证、抵押、典当。
He pledged to unify the city's political factions.
他保证要统一全市的政治小集团。
He pledged to unify the city's political factions.
Feminism.
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 男女平等主义、女权主义、女权运动。
So many people think feminism is a dirty word.
那么多的人认为，女权主义是一个令人反感的词。
So many people think feminism is a dirty word.
Albeit.
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 虽然，尽管。
Charles's letter was indeed published, albeit in a somewhat abbreviated form.
查尔斯迪信确实被刊登了出来，尽管有些删节。
Charles's letter was indeed published, albeit in a somewhat abbreviated form.
Aesthetic. Aesthetic. Aesthetic.
美学的，审美的。
He responded very strongly to the aesthetic of this particular work.
他对这部作品的审美特质反应十分强烈。
He responded very strongly to the aesthetic of this particular work.
Tendency.
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 倾向、趋向。
She had a tendency to sing flat.
他的唱音倾向于偏低。
She had a tendency to sing flat.
Incongruous.
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 不协调的，不一致的，不适宜的。
She was small and fragile and looked incongruous in an army uniform.
他人瘦小，穿上军装显得很不协调。
She was small and fragile and looked incongruous in an army uniform.
Arithmetic.
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 算术。
Practice mental arithmetic when you go out shopping.
外出购物时练习一下心算。
Practice mental arithmetic when you go out shopping.
Casual.
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 偶然的，碰巧的，不经意的，临时的，非正式的。
The boy was cheeky and casual.
这个男孩嬉皮笑脸，随随便便。
The boy was cheeky and casual.
Variation.
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 变化、变动、变种、变异、变更、变奏。
The figures aren't adjusted for seasonal variations.
这些数字未做季节性变化调整。
The figures aren't adjusted for seasonal variations.
Defect.
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 叛变。
He was born with a hearing defect.
他天生听力就有缺陷。
He was born with a hearing defect.
Reinforce.
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 加强、增援。
The body is made of mineral reinforced thermoplastic.
主体是用矿物质加固过的热塑性塑料制成的。
The body is made of mineral reinforced thermoplastic.
Rim.
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 边、圆。
She looked at him over the rim of her glass.
他沿玻璃杯口看着他。
She looked at him over the rim of her glass.
Faulty.
Faulty.
faulty,
有错误的，有缺点的，不完美的。
The gauge must be giving a faulty reading.
标尺一定是给出了一个错误的读数。
The gauge must be giving a faulty reading.
debris,
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 碎屑、残骸、地质岩屑。
The debris slowly decomposes into compost.
这堆碎屑慢慢的分解变成了堆肥。
The debris slowly decomposes into compost.
property,
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 财产所有物，性质、特性，房产、地产。
It's illegal to deface property.
在房子上乱涂乱画是非法的。
It's illegal to deface property.
eject,
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 弹出、喷出、驱逐、逐出。
Officials used guard dogs to eject the protesters.
官员们用护卫犬驱走抗议者。
Officials used guard dogs to eject the protesters.
rig,
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 操纵、垄断。
She accused her opponents of rigging the vote.
他指责对手幕后操纵了这次选举。
She accused her opponents of rigging the vote.
decline,
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 下降、减少、衰退、衰落。
The kingdom's power declined.
王国的势力衰落了。
The kingdom's power declined.
utterance,
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 用言语表达、讲话、话语、言语、言论。
His every utterance will be scrutinized.
他说的每句话都会被细查。
His every utterance will be scrutinized.
whistle,
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 吹口哨，用口哨吹奏曲调。
Jackson gave a low whistle.
杰克逊低声地吹了一下口哨。
Jackson gave a low whistle.
scuffle,
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 扭打、混战。
Police scuffled with some of the protesters.
警察和一些抗议者打了起来。
Police scuffled with some of the protesters.
viewpoint,
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 观点、看法。
The novel is shown from the girl's viewpoint.
这部小说是从那个女孩的视点展开的。
The novel is shown from the girl's viewpoint.
frock,
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 上衣、连衣裙。
She stood up and smoothed down her frock.
她站了起来，抚平了自己的连衣裙。
She stood up and smoothed down her frock.
handle,
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 处理、操作、操纵、触、抚摸。
Thanks, but I think I can handle it.
谢谢，不过我认为我能处理这件事。
Thanks, but I think I can handle it.
tough,
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 难对付的、健壮的、老的。
She had a pretty tough childhood.
她度过了一个非常艰苦的童年。
She had a pretty tough childhood.
urbanization,
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 城市化、都市化。
Rapid urbanization brings with it a more westernized and generally more sugary diet.
迅速的城市化带来了一种更为西方化的、普遍摄入更多食糖的饮食习惯。
Rapid urbanization brings with it a more westernized and generally more sugary diet.
maximize,
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 使增加到最大限度，最佳化，充分利用。
partial,
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 部分的，不完全的，偏爱的，癖好的，偏向一方的，偏心的。
I might be accused of being partial.
我可能会被人指责是偏袒的。
I might be accused of being partial.
silver,
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 银，银器。
He beat the rugs and polished the silver.
他拍打了地毯，擦亮了银器。
He beat the rugs and polished the silver.
Retain.
retain,
Retain.
保留，保持。
He retains a faith in human goodness.
他依然相信人性的善。
He retains a faith in human goodness.
spot,
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 认出，发现，看见。
Spots of rain had begun to fall.
雨点已经开始落下来了。
Spots of rain had begun to fall.
likelihood,
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 可能，可能性。
The likelihood of infection is minimal.
传染的可能性微乎其微。
The likelihood of infection is minimal.
courtship, courtship, courtship,
求爱或追求，求爱妻，追求妻。
After a short courtship, she accepted his proposal.
在短暂追求之后，他接受了他的求婚。
After a short courtship, she accepted his proposal.
retail,
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 零售以价格销售。
It originally retailed at $23.50.
它起初按23.50美元的价格零售。
It originally retailed at $23.50.
terrace,
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 一层梯田，一排并列的房子，阳台。
There was an elderly couple on the terrace.
露台上有一对上年纪的老人。
There was an elderly couple on the terrace.
bubble,
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 冒泡，起泡，发出冒泡的声音。
Heat the seasoned stock until it is bubbling.
把这些调了味的汤汁加热至沸腾为止。
Heat the seasoned stock until it is bubbling.
unobtrusive,
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 不显著的，不引人注目的，不张扬的。
The coffee table is glass, to be as unobtrusive as possible.
咖啡茶几是玻璃制的，尽可能的不引人注目。
The coffee table is glass, to be as unobtrusive as possible.
extravagant,
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 奢侈的，铺张的，无节制的，过分的，放肆的。
He was extravagant in his admiration of Hellas.
他对希腊的崇拜过了头。
He was extravagant in his admiration of Hellas.
tender,
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 嫩的，脆弱的，温柔的。
My tummy felt very tender.
我的肚子一碰就痛。
My tummy felt very tender.
defeat,
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 击败，挫败，战败。
He bamboozled Mercer into defeat.
他蒙骗墨色并击败了他。
He bamboozled Mercer into defeat.
outcome,
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 结果，成果，后果，结局。
The outcome was still in doubt.
结果仍不确定。
The outcome was still in doubt.
Synthesis.
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 综合合成，综合体。
His novels are a rich synthesis of Balkan history and mythology.
他的小说是一个巴尔干半岛的历史和神话的丰富结合。
His novels are a rich synthesis of Balkan history and mythology.
Historian.
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 历史学家，历史工作者。
Historian Michael Beschloss debunks a few myths.
历史学家迈克尔·贝斯切罗斯揭露了一些神话的真相。
Historian Michael Beschloss debunks a few myths.
Yield.
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 出产，放弃，
He may yield control.
他可能放弃控制权。
He may yield control.
Electronic.
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 电子的，
The electronic key card to Julie's room would not work.
朱莉房间的门卡不能用了。
The electronic key card to Julie's room would not work.
Vacation.
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 假期，休假。
They planned a late summer vacation in Europe.
他们计划了一个夏末在欧洲的休假。
They planned a late summer vacation in Europe.
Curriculum.
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 课程，全部课程。
They all fulminated against the new curriculum.
他们都对新课程表强烈不满。
They all fulminated against the new curriculum.
Referee.
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 裁判，仲裁。
The referee stopped the fight.
裁判叫停了那场拳击赛。
The referee stopped the fight.
Correspond.
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 相一致，符合，通信，相当于，相应。
The two maps of the Rockies correspond closely.
这两张落基山脉的地图极为相似。
The two maps of the Rockies correspond closely.
Prototype.
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 原型，蓝本。
Chris Retzler has built a prototype of a machine called the wave rotor.
克里斯·雷兹勒做出了一台叫做波转子的样机。
Chris Retzler has built a prototype of a machine called the wave rotor.
Cite.
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 引用，引证。
She cites a favorite poem by George Herbert.
他引用了一首他所喜爱的乔治·赫伯特的诗。
She cites a favorite poem by George Herbert.
Internship.
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 实习生身份，实习医师。
Her internship was cut short because of a technical snafu.
因为技术事故，他的实习期缩短了。
Her internship was cut short because of a technical snafu.
Acquaintance.
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 熟人，认识，了解。
I first made his acquaintance in the early 1960s.
我在20世纪60年代初第一次认识了他。
I first made his acquaintance in the early 1960s.
Meantime.
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 同时，当时，
In the meantime, the war of nerves seems likely to continue.
同时，心理战似乎很有可能要继续下去。
In the meantime, the war of nerves seems likely to continue.
Demographic.
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 人口统计学的， 人口的。
The station has won more listeners in the 25 to 39 demographic.
这个电台吸引了更多25到39岁年龄段的听众。
The station has won more listeners in the 25 to 39 demographic.
Precision.
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 准确、精确、精确度。
The choir sang with precision.
合唱团的演唱准确无误。
The choir sang with precision.
Glove.
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 手套。
He donned his cloak and gloves.
他穿戴上他的披风和手套。
He donned his cloak and gloves.
Spur.
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 刺激、激励、削刺、马刺。
He must have cooked up his scheme on the spur of the moment.
他肯定是即兴策划了他的方案。
He must have cooked up his scheme on the spur of the moment.
Rear.
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 后方的、后部的。
His bike's rear tire punctured.
他的自行车的后胎被扎破了。
His bike's rear tire punctured.
Adhere.
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 粘附、遵守、坚持。
Small particles adhere to the seed.
微小的粒子紧贴着种子。
Small particles adhere to the seed.
Outsell.
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 卖的比多。
The team's products easily outsell those of other American baseball teams overseas.
该队的产品在海外轻松卖过美国其他棒球队的产品。
The team's products easily outsell those of other American baseball teams overseas.
Expense.
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 花费、开支、消费、消耗、代价、损失。
I think he's having fun at our expense.
我看他是在拿咱们寻开心。
I think he's having fun at our expense.
Pregnant.
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 怀孕的、妊娠的、充满的。
Lena got pregnant and married.
丽娜怀了孕并结了婚。
Lena got pregnant and married.
Finale.
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 中曲、中场。
The finale had 50,000 adults standing in open-mouthed wonderment.
中场一幕让5万名成年观众惊叹地站了起来，目瞪口呆。
The finale had 50,000 adults standing in open-mouthed wonderment.
Border.
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 与接壤、接近、毗邻。
They fled across the border.
他们越过边界逃走了。
They fled across the border.
Sediment.
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 沉淀物、沉积物。
Vintage ports must be decanted to remove natural sediments.
优质的葡萄酒必须倒出，以清除其中自然沉淀的杂质。
Vintage ports must be decanted to remove natural sediments.
Hybrid.
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 杂交产生的、混合的、合成的。
Hybrid cars can go almost 600 miles between refueling.
混合动力汽车加满油能行驶将近600英里。
Hybrid cars can go almost 600 miles between refueling.
Admission.
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 允许进入、加入权、进入权、招供、招认、入场券。
The admission price is $8 for adults.
入场费成人是$8。
The admission price is $8 for adults.
Rumor.
Rumor.
rumor,
谣传、谣言。
I was angry about the rumors.
我对这些谣言感到生气。
I was angry about the rumors.
contemporary,
contemporary.
contemporary,
当代的，同时代的。
Contemporary African cinema has much to offer.
当代非洲电影制作艺术有很多贡献。
Contemporary African cinema has much to offer.
mock,
mock.
mock,
假的，模拟的。
She gave a mocking smile.
他嘲讽地笑了笑。
She gave a mocking smile.
quiver,
quiver.
quiver,
颤抖，抖动。
Cooper arrived quivering with rage.
库珀到了，气得浑身发抖。
Cooper arrived quivering with rage.
facilitate,
facilitate.
facilitate,
使便利，使容易，推动，帮助。
The new airport will facilitate the development of tourism.
新机场将促进旅游业的发展。
The new airport will facilitate the development of tourism.
encase,
encase.
encase,
装入，包住。
When nuclear fuel is manufactured, it is encased in metal cans.
核燃料生产出来时被装在金属罐中。
When nuclear fuel is manufactured, it is encased in metal cans.
gear,
gar.
gear,
齿轮、传动装置、档、用具、设备、衣服等。
The car was in fourth gear.
那辆汽车处于第4档。
The car was in fourth gear.
telegraph,
telegraph.
telegraph,
打电报、发电报、泄露、流露。
The truck crashed into a telegraph pole.
卡车撞上了电线杆。
The truck crashed into a telegraph pole.
weakness,
weakness.
weakness,
虚弱、缺点、偏好、嗜好。
His only weakness is his temperament.
他唯一的弱点是他的脾气。
His only weakness is his temperament.
collect,
collect.
collect,
收集、搜集、零。